Hey guys, thank you for watching. This is Breaking Burke. It is my YouTube channel about houseplants and gardening here in the desert of Albuquerque, New Mexico. In today's video, I wanted to share my tip on how I transplant sunflowers in my garden. Now, sunflowers aren't normally something I used to grow. One day I walked out and seen one growing in the middle of my food patch, and I feel bad killing living things even if they're plants, so I dug it up and I moved it. I couldn't find anything on how to transplant them, so I just gave it a shot. I figured better trying something than just pulling it out and letting it die. So I did, it worked. I've tried a couple other ways and I want to share one of those ways with you today. One way that I do this is find a sunflower that is growing in a place you don't want it, first of all. Once you do have sunflowers grow, I don't care how good you are at harvesting your seeds, you will have volunteers popping up. It's just a thing of life. So the smaller you can get your plant, the better. Less shock on the plant. You can dig it up, but if they're about this small, I just pull them. Just reach in here and grab it by the stalk, give it a little tug. You can see it brought a nice root system with it, and it even actually still has the ends of the roots there. You can see them. So minimal damage. It did damage the taproot a little. We can see it right there. That's the taproot. But what I'm going to do, and like I said, I've done this before. I do it every year because once the little birds came in, deposited a little plant for me, they just keep coming back. Just got a basic 6-inch pot here, a little bit of soil on the bottom. I'm gonna put the sunflower in there, and if you take a close look at these things, guys, you can see there they are furry. It actually itches like insulation. Anything like that, like tomatoes or Tradescantia, will usually root on its own. So if you got some roots with it, awesome. If you take it from a cutting, you'll probably still have success, maybe not as much. But what I do to get these going and to keep them from shock, you could just dig it up and transplant it. What I've noticed there, you have to water that thing like every day in order for it to be happy. If you don't, it will start to sag on you. But there you can see we have a decent sized sunflower potted up. Now what I'm going to do with this is just take it and set it in my pond. If you don't have a pond, that's fine. Get a pan or some kind of dish and put it under your sunflower and bottom water it for 2 days to a week. Make sure it doesn't dry out. I know it sounds like it's too much water, but it's not. These things grow in ditches along the counties out here, the rural areas. So they are pretty resilient. They will come back. You might lose a couple. I'm not saying it's gonna work every time, but hey, it's worth a shot. I've done this before, and like I said, once you let one go to seed, it is hard getting them out, or at least in a space you want them. So give it a shot. I mean, you never know. Remember, if you are transplanting anything, water before you transplant it so it gets a chance to drink up some water before you cut off any roots and the soil is moist. Make sure you keep it semi-moist depending on what it is after you transplant it. I'm gonna, like I said, put it in a pot just because it's easier to do it that way rather than go plant it and have to worry about the sun and all that good stuff. Another thing, the sun, if you are on a hot day, try and do it early in the morning or late in the evening. I prefer later in the evening because the plants get that nighttime to recoup, and I water everything after I transplant because you are shocking it by pulling the roots up or digging them out, or whichever way you do it, you are going to cause damage. Sorry to say. But I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into how to transplant sunflower. They are pretty. There are different kinds. There are some that grow tall and produce one bloom and they're done. There are some like this one that is considered an oil type, which produces tons of small flowers. These ones I got here, like I said, were donated by a bird. They dropped a seed, And they grow for me anywhere from 12 to 15 feet on average. I usually have to stake them or cut them down at that point. I can't let them get any taller because they're always in the worst possible spot. Uh, let's see. Oh, and these ones, because they are an oil type, they keep producing flowers. They will keep throwing flowers out till, like I say, either the plant falls over because it gets too heavy, it dries out and dies, or winter comes along. Now, it will produce smaller and smaller flowers, so eventually they will be tiny little daisy looking flowers, but hey, they are still cute. Uh, Thank you for watching and give it a try. Have a great day.